The year ain't over yet. We've still got business to do. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Earhart.
And I'm Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you goes out to our partners, ranchchannel.com. New listings and reports as we speak. Head to ranchchannel.com. The Happy Toy Maker, Jorgensen Land and Cattle. Clear Springs Cattle Company bringing us the mature cow and red heifer dispersal sale. Sale information, the catalog and videos are available at ranchchannel.com. Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health bringing us Multimin and Lactapro. Stockman's Livestock Exchange. The American Gelbvieh Association. Imogene Ingredients bringing us Farmatan. Westway Feed Products. Medora Boot and Western Wear. Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station. Well, Thanksgiving is now come and gone. I hope that you survived.
Of course we all did. We survived, and now bring on the holidays, Christmas.
Well, it's kind of a tough time of year, I think, because as soon as Thanksgiving wraps up, everybody goes into holiday mode, right? It's kind of tough to get a lot of business done for the next 30 days.
It gets crazy this time of year between the kids, the programs, getting together with family, friends. Sometimes you end up having multiple Christmases. So we know it's jam-packed. And then at the end of the day, you still have to get all of the business stuff done before the end of the year.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, our weekends from now going forward, we are booked every single weekend, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, all the way up through the end of the year. On New Year's, everything's booked up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, our calendar is full. Not a bad thing, but yes, we are now in full Christmas mode here.
Okay, but to business we need to go. I brought this up last week on our weekly recap, by the way. If in case you haven't listened to the weekly recap, make sure that you subscribe to our podcasts. It's just a recap of what kind of happened during the week. And I brought this up, to business we go, in regards to making sure that you get registered with the federal government. Here's what I'm talking about, because time is running out for thousands of producers who may face steep fines and even possible jail time to file their businesses with the federal government. Here's what I mean. January 1st, it's coming up fast here, is the deadline to file beneficial ownership information, or BOI, with the U.S. Department of Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. That's a lot one. Now, the Corporate Transparency Act of 2021 required businesses to register any beneficial owner of a company in an effort to combat money laundering. Now, there's a lot of farms and ranches that are structured as either a C Corp, an S Corp, like an LLC, a limited liability company, which are now required to be registered if they employ fewer than 20 employees or receive under $5 million in cash receipts, which covers a lot of operations.
Absolutely. And this isn't just pertaining to farms and ranches. If you have any of what Tigger just said, an
side
LLC,
business or something. Yeah.
Yes, a side business of some sort, you are required. And our accountant is telling everybody to have everything in and done by the 31st of December, just to make sure you don't find yourself on the naughty list.
And what we did is got a hold of our accountant. It's online, right? That you can, because you did the, where was I? Because I had you do this. You called our accountant, and she walked you through step by step over the phone to fill out a form online that you can send in, right?
Yes. The beneficial ownership information report done by the U.S. government is online. The process takes about 10 minutes. It really isn't that bad. However, I do recommend you reaching out to your accountant to verify if you do need to do this. There've been some surprises. Like, our accountant was surprised we had not seen anything from the government telling us to do this.
That's the big thing, is we haven't gotten anything. And luckily, our accountant was on top of this and said, hey, you need to do this. You kind of were just in your news thread. You actually saw this as well.
Yes, I had seen this in one of my news threads and reached out to our accountant and said, does this pertain to us? I thought we were small enough where we didn't really have to worry about some of these reports. And she said, absolutely, yes. Thank you for reaching out. And then she took the time and walked me through it online. Like I said, you can do it right over the internet. And the process takes about 10 minutes. You'll want to know if you have like an EIN number for your business. You'll want to have that readily available. Otherwise, you know that if you're a sole proprietor, you usually use your social security number, but you'll want to have all of those documents ready to go, as well as some identification. I had to, for example, upload a photo of my driver's license. So there is a little bit of work that has to be done when you file this, but it's not that painful. I'm telling you, it's not that bad, but you do have to get this done.
And we're bringing this up because what Beck, you just said, is you said, well, we're small enough. I didn't think that we needed to do this. No, listen again. This is for operations that are structured as C Corp, S Corp, or LLC, which are now required to be registered if you employ fewer than 20 employees or receive under $5 million in cash receipts. And there's a lot of us that live at the end of dirt roads that, you're running cows or something like that, but so many people, in fact, we've had a lot of guests on the shows where maybe they're in the business, maybe, they raise 100 Angus bulls and have a production sale every year, but they also have a side business of, say, they manufacture continuous fence or something like that. They have another LLC business. So we're just bringing this to everyone's attention because don't wait till the last minute. Just get a hold of your accountant. Yay or nay, do we need to do this, and how do we do this online?
And if you have any questions, be sure to head to ranchitupshow.com. In our show notes, we'll have all the links so that you can follow it, read up on it a little bit more yourself, and get yourself safe. Make sure you're done before the end of the year and have your operation signed up.
Crew, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got a lot more of the Ranch It Up radio show. Keep it locked.
LivestockMarket.com. We hear from the crew at LivestockMarket.com every week. Bulls, cows, bred heifers, open replacement heifers, cow-calf pairs, feeders and stockers, horses, pigs, goats, sheep, show stock, hay and straw, and even alpacas. All listed on LivestockMarket.com.
Attention cattle producers. Boost your herd's trace mineral status with Axiota Animal Health's Multi-Min 90. This injectable solution delivers essential trace minerals known to support cattle health and reproduction. Don't settle for less when it comes to your herd health. Trust Axiota Animal Health to keep your cattle in prime condition. Visit your local supplier or veterinarian to learn more about Multi-Min 90. Multi-Min 90, because healthy cattle mean a healthy bottom line. Clear Springs Cattle Company, that brings you the annual Bred for Balance sale, well, they invite you to the first annual Mature Cow in Red Heifer Dispersal. No, they're not getting out of the business, just refocusing their herd, and now is your chance to get your hands on proven Simmental and Sim Angus genetics. Just head to ranchchannel.com for sale details or bredforbalance.com. It's Saturday, November 30th at the ranch in Starbuck, Minnesota, and holler at any of the crew with questions.
There's still lots of time to market those calves. Add Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners to the list of marketing options. With over 30,000 feeder cattle marketing annually, the Allied Genetic team works to help commercial producers capture top dollars. Contact any of the Allied team by heading to AlliedGeneticResources.com.
The best way to raise beef on pasture, on crop residue, or in a dry lot, it's Westway feed products. Westway liquid supplements support increased forage utilization, efficiency, convenience, and sustainability. Find your nearest rep by calling 800-800-7517 or head to westwayfeed.com on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
Cattle Battle.
Hey crew, welcome back to the Ranch It Up radio show, the most information packed into a 30-minute program that you can find. It's your All Things Ranching newscast, and so glad to be hanging out with y'all. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, rants, it doesn't matter. Give us a call or text us at 707-RANCH20. That's 707-726-2420. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com, and we're prowling around social media at Ranch It Up Show. Now, last week we visited with Justin Tupper, president of the U.S. Cattlemen's Association and owner-manager of St. Onge Livestock in St. Onge, South Dakota. And I will have the links to the U.S. Cattlemen's Association and to St. Onge Livestock in case you want their market report in the show notes for your convenience at ranchitupshow.com. Now, in case you missed that one, about the confusion around USDA's EID tag requirement, I suggest that you go back into the archives and listen to that one. It was just last week's episode. Head to ranchitupshow.com. I have Justin Tupper back again today for a quick comment. You've got your sale coming up here, and I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I love visiting with you because you have got your nose to the grindstone, as they say, on all of these different issues. That's why I love visiting with you, is because you are just hungry for knowledge and information. And you and I have talked many, many, many times, and just simply having information is knowledge in and of itself. So let's fast forward to 2025 and just your opinion on this. What will a Trump administration bring to agriculture in 2025, in your opinion?
That's a great question. I think the one thing that we need to talk about is some of the things that the past administration was trying to do with the big four packers and the big business was good. And you got to give credit where credit's due. They worked on competition, and those are things that we strongly believe in. We've got to get more competition back into this cattle industry, especially in the fed cattle side of things. If we don't, when we go to a different kind of market, when there's plenty of numbers around, then we're going to be in trouble, and everybody's going to look around and say, what did we do? This is not the time to be complacent. This is going to be the time to make sure that we do the things to make sure we have fair and good competition in the marketplace. We're importing the highest amount of beef we've ever imported, and they're mixing that with ours and the safety standards and those things. I'm hopeful that the Trump administration will work on some of the tariffs that he's talked about to make sure that they can't bring that in here at the rates that they are, or if they are, it's going to be tariffed and held accountable to the same level as our ranchers. And what we have to go through as far as safety standards and work ethics and all of those things, we're excited to work with the Trump administration to make sure that happens. But I think first and foremost, as he puts his cabinet together, who he picks as Secretary of Ag will be very pivotal.
Now, President-elect Donald Trump has named Brooke Rollins, a former White House domestic policy advisor, as his choice to lead the USDA. She also led the Texas Public Policy Foundation, a conservative think tank that was a key figure in establishing the America First Policy Institute after leaving the White House. If confirmed, Rollins will be the second woman to lead the USDA following Ann Veneman, who served under President George W. Bush. Rollins, a Texas native with deep ties to agriculture and conservative policy advocacy, is set to oversee the department's $200 billion budget. Currently the CEO of the America First Policy Institute, Rollins played a key role in promoting Trump's agenda during his first term. Before her White House tenure, she led the Texas Public Policy Foundation, championing conservative causes like school choice, fossil fuels, and faith-based initiatives, according to multiple news outlets. She will oversee an agency with nearly 100,000 employees and programs such as the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, the Supplemental Nutritional Program of Women, Infants, and Children, and school meal regulations. During Trump's first term, the department grappled with challenges from trade wars and retaliatory tariffs that impacted U.S. farmers, prompting federal aid. Looking ahead, Rollins could oversee the reauthorization of a potentially $1 trillion farm bill, which funds farmers' safety nets, rural development, and government nutrition programs. The last farm bill, signed by Trump in 2018, remains unrenewed by Congress. Rollins' leadership may also shape Trump's plans to streamline federal bureaucracy and enforce tariffs on foreign goods. Trump's inauguration is scheduled for January 20th, 2025 in Washington, D.C. And now in other news, October proves to be a monster month for meat retail sales. Here's a little bit of October in review. October sales were heavily disrupted in the substantial southeast region where Hurricanes Helene and Milton left millions of people without power for varying amounts of time, while boosting the sales of some center store categories. The net result for fresh categories varied widely in the Southeast. The Consumer Sentiment Index by the University of Michigan remained relatively stable at 70.5 in October 2024. The early November readings show some consumer optimism. The overall sentiment index increased to 73 in the first week of November 2024, the highest in 7 months. The expectations index soared to 78.5, the highest since July of 2021, and expectations over personal finances climbed by 6%. The average price per pound in the meat department across all cuts and kinds, both fixed and random weight, stood at $4.67 in October of 2024. That's up 1.9% year over year. Processed meat prices rose the least in October to a mere 0.1%. Meat department sales were on a roll in October, with fresh meat sales driving 8% gains to lead the department to an overall 5.4% increase over October of last year. The 5 October weeks generating over $10 million, with $1.7 billion for fresh meat. While inflation played a role, pound sales increased by over 3%, also driven by strong gains in fresh meat. The latest projections in the USDA's World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates, or the WASDE report, reinforced many current meat industry trends, primarily that of the beef market. High dressed weights, additional cow slaughter, and higher than previously expected placements during the second half of 2024 have boosted estimates for beef production in the months ahead. Those trends, the report said, more than offset lower expected steer and heifer slaughter. Estimated cattle prices for 2024 were raised to $186.68 per hundredweight, based on recent prices and the continued strength in the beef market. And WASDE now expects prices to remain above $186 per hundredweight, at least through 2025's third quarter. Finally, given high domestic demand and continued cattle herd liquidation, beef imports are expected to remain robust into next year. Beef imports for 2023 were 3,725 million pounds and are now estimated to reach at 4,508 million pounds this year, with a similar level through next year. Imports from Oceania and South America, WASDE stated, have been stronger than expected. Crew, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, markets, recaps, numbers, livestock for sale, and lots more right here on the Ranch It Up radio show. Go nowhere, crew.
Should I sell heifers or keep some as replacements? Consider upgrading your cow herd with material instinct and stayability, all while providing that extra shot of heterosis. Look no further than Gelbvieh and Balancer Genetics. Discover the cow power with Gelbvieh and Balancer. Gelbvieh and Balancer, smart, reliable, profitable. Gelbvieh.org.
We run a lot of high milk-producing mama cows in our herd.
Mitch Kenobi of Norfolk dealt with scours in his herd.
So bad that we sent samples off to South Dakota State and Kansas State. Heard about Farmatan. As a producer, I know it's our job to limit our inputs, but when it comes to Farmatan, Dad and I don't blink an eye. It is a must for every calving season.
Adding Farmatan to your livestock's nutrition this fall will rid your new herd of scours in the spring. Go to FarmatanUSA.com.
RanchChannel.com. Bull sales, Western events, product information, right at your fingertips on the ultimate cowboy-friendly platform. Want to follow up-to-date markets? RanchChannel.com. No need to dig for information on all these different websites. It's all right there on RanchChannel.com. Have you considered IVF, in vitro fertilization, in your cow herd? You need to look at your herd's full potential, and Transova Genetics is there to help you along the way. From now until September 30th, use your pregnant donor and IVF technology and receive a $100 discount. Call Transova Genetics today. Unlock your herd's potential.
Howdy, folks. Do you have that young cow kid in your life and looking for the perfect gift this holiday season? The Happy Toy Maker manufactures toys that last for generations. Order now in time for Christmas at thehappytoymaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Ranch It Up radio show. That time in the program, we check in with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated. Kind of recapping last week to see what's going on. Well, Kirk, we're getting kind of awful close here to closing out the year. I mean, we're past the Thanksgiving holiday now. So what's going on? What can we expect? What happened?
Good morning, Tigger. As of Friday, November 22nd, January feeders closed the week at 254.42.5. That's up $7.52.5 on the week. So very bullish futures this week. The CME feeder index was up 223 at 254.54. That left the basis versus January futures at a positive 24 cents, a very normalized basis. We did have a cattle on feed report this week at 100.3% versus last year. That's versus expectations of 99.9. The placement number came in at 105.3% versus expectations of 103.3. And the marketed number at 104.7 versus expectations of 105.1. I would call the report bearish, but that's going against such bullish market action that it very well may be ignored. December live cattle closed the week at 186.67.5. That's up 380 on the week, with cash trading 185 early in the week, and then 187 to 187.50 in the south and 188 in the north. That left the 5-area weighted average up 87 cents at 185.61, and the basis versus December futures at a negative $1.16.5. The weekly slaughter was 631,000 head. That's 25,000 head more than last week and 97,000 head more than the same week last year. That week last year was a holiday-shortened week. Choice boxes closed the week at 307.41. That's up $4.07 on the week. To wrap this all up, March corn closed the week at 435.5. That's up 0.5 cent on the week.
Hey, all. Mark VanZee with LivestockMarket.com. Coming up this Wednesday, December 2nd, we have an all-class cattle and hay online auction. Bidding opens at just $100 a head, no reserves, all lots will sell. Featured lots include 30 red and black Angus bred cows, 1,250 pounds, 5 to 8 years old, second trimester bred to a black Angus bull from Rafter LF Cattle Company. 210 Holstein steers, 500 pounds, long-time wean, delivery February 1st, fully vaccinated and ready to go from Boring Cattle Sales. 80 Holstein steers, 700 pounds, long-time wean, dehorned, implanted as baby. They're through vet protocol from DNL Blum Farms. 63 Angus/Brangus calves. They're yearling steers and heifers mixed, 500 pounds, 45-plus days wean. They're on a constant feed and grass. No growth hormones. They have been vaccinated from the Dollar Ranch in Marion, Louisiana. Featured hay lots include 21 tons of large square alfalfa orchard mix, 3x3x8, 750 pounds, second cutting, 16% moisture, preservative, stored inside from Wagner forages. 21 tons of large square orchard mix, 3x3x8, 775 pounds, second cutting, 18% moisture, preservative from Wagner forages. 120 large round prairie bales, selling on 4 lots of 30. It's 4x6, 1,060 pounds. This is native prairie, not CRP. It was put up right, never rained on. It's excellent horse hay or to start calves on from Simon's Farms in Mound City, Missouri. 108 large round alfalfa orchard mix bales, selling on 3 lots of 36. It's 4x5, net wrapped, no rain, baled dry from Lone Pine Stock Farm. 344 large round barley pea bales, selling across 4 lots. It's 5x5, 1,200 pounds, never handled with a grapple or a spear from Ophis Auction in Big Sandy, Montana. 35 large round mixed grass bales, 4x5 net wrap, third cutting from Foaling Farms. 80 small square alfalfa bales, selling on 4 lots of 20, fourth cutting irrigated, really nice from Cobb's Auctions. 42 small square alfalfa bales, selling on 2 21 bale bundle lots, 75% alfalfa, 25% orchard, stored inside from Epps Auctions, and 40 small square alfalfa bales, second cutting wire tie from Velocity Auctions in Lincoln, Nebraska. Bidding is currently live, but all lots will sell the morning of Wednesday, December 2nd at 10 a.m. Central Time. Got cattle to sell? Regular online cattle auctions first and third Wednesday of every month, with hay sales every Wednesday on LivestockMarket.com and AuctionTime.com.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
And before we say fare thee well, we want to give a big tip of the hat and a shout out to all of you that are fall calvers. This is the season usually when you're turning those bulls out. It seems kind of right around the Thanksgiving holiday. Just a reminder, before you turn those bulls out, make sure that you go to the vet and you get them checked, right? I mean, you don't want to turn a bull out that's shooting blanks.
That's for sure.
Just a reminder, especially since it's been really cold in a lot of parts of the country.
And I want to give a shout out to all of you shoppers out there. Did you find the Black Friday deals? Did you do Small Town Saturday? Yes, shop local. That's extremely important because remember, those are the folks that are putting the dollars back into your community.
And there's a lot of people that are in the business of farming and ranching that have side businesses.
Yes, they're
maybe on the farm, or
they're
they got a
making
shop in town.
soaps. They're otherwise selling beef, things like that. That's a reminder.
Oh, beef. That's a good one. That's
Just
a good
reminder,
idea.
those are great Christmas gifts. If you're still trying to figure out what to get Grandpa and Grandma is, just send them some beef for Christmas this year.
Or your favorite radio hosts, wink, wink. And now that's going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours, starting out with Justin Tupper with the U.S. Cattlemen's Association and owner and manager of St. Ange Livestock. Shay Warner with Casual Cattle Conversations, Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, Mark VanZee with LivestockMarket.com, and the boss lady, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
And a big thank you to our partners, RanchChannel.com, The Happy Toy Maker, Clear Springs Cattle Company, and they're bringing you the Mature Cow and Red Heifer Dispersal Sale, Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing us Multimin and Lactopro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients, Farmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources, Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com, and you can call and you can text 24/7. That phone number is 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger and Beck approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.